but he was unable to join us, so we're going to continue as planned. And next, welcome Jenny Reel, Vendor Outreach for the Department of Technology, Management and Budget for the state of Michigan. Jenny.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually a late ad. I'm Genevieve Hayes, you did not know that. And I'm Jenny's manager, actually. And I'm the manager of the Business Development Unit for the state of Michigan out of the state's procurement office, the Central Procurement Office. And here's our presentation, thank you. So I'm here today to talk to you for a few minutes about, at a high level, how to do business with the state of Michigan. How many of you have contracts? A few. Okay, good. And how many of you are registered to do business with the state? Okay, even more. That's going to be real important, as you'll find out shortly. Next slide. As I said, I represent the state's Central Procurement Office, where all the larger projects are done. And my office is split into 3 divisions. We buy IT products and services, commodities, and general services. We're making purchases in amounts higher than $25,000 in my office. And then there are state agencies, obviously, beyond the Department of Technology and Budget. And they also have purchasing departments that are authorized to make smaller purchases, which I'll talk about in a minute. We have within DTMB a real estate and design and construction division, and those areas are charged with design and construction projects, either capital improvements, remodels, basic construction projects, real estate leasing. The individual state departments that I mentioned a moment ago, there are about 20 of them. Departments like Department of Agriculture, the Michigan Department of Transportation, etc. They have the authority or permission from our department to make purchases themselves less than $25,000. In some cases, they make purchases for higher amounts. The Department of Human Services, actually it's DHHS now, it was recently renamed. They have the authority to do direct human service contracting themselves. That's things like social work, counseling, etc. They do that directly, not through our office. Michigan State Industries, is anyone familiar with that concept? It was something new to me when I joined the state. It's our prison factory organization. We have a number of prison factories that are making a variety of goods and services, or goods, not so much services, things like license plates, there's a dairy processing, woodworking, furniture making, etc. And they can buy their own raw materials to keep those factories running in amounts up to $1 million. So again, that doesn't come through my office. And finally, the Michigan Department of Transportation does its own contracting for road and bridge construction. When they need to buy something like office furniture, carpeting, etc., then it comes through our office. Next slide. As I mentioned, we're set up into 3 divisions, IT, commodities and services. Anyone in the IT space in the room? Okay. We do a lot of staff aug, buy a lot of contracting services. We purchase application services, hardware, software as a service, commercial off-the-shelf software packages, etc. If you happen to provide staffing, we do that through a single contractor. You can talk to me about it later, and I'll tell you how to get signed up for that. The commodities area, that's just a really brief list of what we buy. I mean, we buy hundreds of things to keep state offices operating, as you can imagine. That's just a partial list to everything from clothing, to furniture, to carpeting, to defibrillators, natural gas, vehicles, tires, etc., etc. And our services division pretty much handles things like professional services, consulting, advertising, braille transcription, that sort of thing. Maintenance and repair services, things like janitorial and and security guards, that comes under the commodities division. Next slide. If you have to remember just one thing today, what I would suggest you remember is to go register your business if you think you might have something that we need to buy on our bid posting site, which several of you already have. It's Buy for Michigan, BUY4Michigan.com will get you there. And that's where we are posting all of our opportunities that are $10,000 and above. In some cases, we're posting opportunities for less than that too, but our state departments are required to, by policy, to post their opportunities there. So that's where you need to go, because we are required by law to competitively bid. We just don't award contracts. We have to compete them. If you didn't know this already, the schools in the state are K through 12, they're required to post their construction bids on the state website, and that's our website, and so that's where they're doing that. So if you look on our Buy for Michigan site, you'll see a lot of schools have their construction bids posted there, and I've noticed that the schools have deviated from that and do other kinds of bids too, not just construction related like everything. When you go to register, just have your basic business information handy. It's free. It doesn't take that long to sign up. And it looks like this when you go to that website. And you can actually see what bids are out in the street without registering. You can do that today, and that's kind of handy. Next slide. Now the website that we maintain in our central procurement office is called My Contract Connect. You just punch in michigan.gov / My Contract Connect. And that's where we store materials that will be helpful to you, such as our Contracting 101 presentation, Contracting 201, various informational pamphlets about the service disabled veteran preference, design and construction, etc. We also post our current portfolio. We have about 1,000 contracts in our portfolio today that, again, cover those three areas, and they're all available for you to look at in their entirety online. So you'll be able to tell if what you supply is something we even buy. It's sortable. You can download it in Excel and type in if you're carpeting, type in carpet, and you'll get led right to our carpet contract. You'll be able to look at what our current contractor, how that contract is structured, what the specifications are, what we're paying, how long the contract lasts for, who the vendor contact people are. It's very helpful, really, to see. You can just get a real leg up when you go to bid on one of our projects, because you'll see a contract that resulted from a winning bid. And again, as I said, these are the types of information. This is the type of information available about each contract. The expiration date at the end, so you'll be able to tell when it's going to expire. Now, we usually have option years on our contracts, often 2 or 3 that we can exercise if we choose to. So take a look at that, because even if it ends, say, in April, we may have an option year or 2 we will exercise. And you can ask the buyer that question. Buyer's name is on that list too, it's not shown here. Just click on the link, it'll take you right to the contract. It's a great research tool. This amount is really what was awarded at the get-go. It's not necessarily what we spend. It can be less sometimes even. Next. Just thought I would close with a quick discussion of the purchasing preferences that we have or don't have really at the state level. As Matt mentioned, we have a 5% price preference for qualified service-disabled veteran-owned business companies. That's in statute. We have a set-aside program for community rehab organizations. For some contracts, those are organizations like Goodwill and Peckham that are able to compete for contracts generally, like janitorial contracts. We have an all things being equal preference in Michigan, so when everything is equal, which it generally isn't, as you can imagine, specifications are usually different or pricing is different, we will award to a Michigan company. We also have a reciprocal preference. What that means is that we penalize a vendor from another state that has a homegrown state contracting preference in the same manner that they penalize our bidders. A lot of states have this. So that's one reason why it's not necessarily a great thing to have a price preference for the state of Michigan, because our vendors would get nicked in the same way when they go into other states to bid. We don't have any preferences for small business, women-owned, minority-owned companies, veteran-owned, and that's due to the passage of Proposal 2 back in 2006. Next slide. If you have any questions and you don't remember to ask me today, you can get a hold of us in a variety of ways. You can email us at the My Contract Connect website, dtmb/mycontractconnect at michigan.gov. You can follow us on Twitter. We have, I think, 750 followers. And we post news about events like this, about new bids, educational opportunities, etc. And @myprocurement is our Twitter handle. But if you go to our website, My Contract Connect, you'll see all this in case you didn't write it down. Now, my colleague Jenny Reilly is our vendor outreach coordinator, and she's always happy to talk to you. And Jenny's information is on the screen, Reilly J2 at michigan.gov. She can be reached at 284-7023. You can call me, and I'm at 284-7014, both area code 517. And I'm Hayes G2 at michigan.gov. Or you can, again, go to our website and you'll get through, I guarantee you. I also can answer questions, and Jenny can too, about services and veteran preference. I think that's our last slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did you say you had 750 or 750,000? Just 750?
Just something.
We need a social media manager. Thank you very much. Let's give all of our participants a round of applause.